Hey everybody, welcome to Broadway.com's Live at 5. It is Friday, thank God. Yes. It is September 27th, and I am Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And I'm Andy Lefkowitz.
And we are joined here in the studio, as always, by the marvelous Caitlin Moynihan.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Hello. And we have some incredible guests with us today. We have the Indoor Boys.
Yes, Alex Wyse and Wesley Taylor.
Yes.
Season 3 is on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Very excited to talk about Indoor Boys. We're also going to talk about Assassins, also the tour of what the Constitution means to me. All sorts of wonderful things are happening. Also, 4 years ago today, Alex Wyse was opening Deaf West's Spring Awakening on Broadway. How precious. How sweet, right? So we're going to talk about all that fun, wonderful stuff. But first, let's talk about today's Top 5.
Ryan Murphy is continuing to show his support for the Broadway community by just casting all of the Tony nominees possible, I guess.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah,
Super
takes everybody.
excited about this. So we'd heard a little bit about Ryan Murphy's new series, Hollywood.
Yeah.
We'd heard that Patti LuPone, who you might have heard of, is going to be in it, and Holland Taylor, who you might have heard of.
Yes.
But today we found out that Jeremy Pope, who got 2 Tony nominations this past season, is going to take on a lead role in it, alongside Emmy winner Darren Criss. We also found out that 2-time Tony winner Joe Mantello is going to be involved in the cast. Jim Parsons, Dylan McDermott, a full slate of super talented people.
Yes.
This sounds absolutely incredible. It's billed as a love letter to the golden age of Tinseltown, and it's going to be set in the 1940s and focus on 3 characters played by Jeremy Pope, Darren Criss, and what's that third? Oh, David Corenswet.
Yeah.
Who will be on The Politician, which starts today.
Started today. It's already, you can watch it now. Also, you skipped over Samara Weaving.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Oh my God.
How dare.
Unbelievable in Ready or Not. She's so, have you seen
God,
that?
I've not, dude.
She's incredible. Yeah, sorry, just a shout out to Samara
Hey.
Weaving.
Yes.
So we don't have a date or anything,
No.
but I mean, Patti LuPone is involved.
Yeah.
Patti LuPone and Jeremy Pope.
Netflix.
I mean, like
And
Netflix.
Ryan Murphy,
So
yeah. Gonna be obsessed.
Stay tuned for more about that. Yeah.
And only 89 days until my favorite day of the year, and people like Idina Menzel are helping me celebrate.
89 days. Holy.
Yes.
Idina Menzel is putting out another holiday Christmas musical album. This will be
Thank
her
goodness.
second one after Holiday Wishes in 2014. What do we know? That a talented group of stars are joining Idina Menzel for this Christmas album, including Ariana Grande, who she'll be singing A Hand for Mrs. Claus with. Recent Emmy Award winner Billy Porter is going to be singing I Got My Love to Keep Me Warm with Idina Menzel. Also, Menzel's husband, Aaron Lohr, he will be singing We Wish You, I'll Be Home for Christmas with him, of course. And Josh Gad will be singing We Wish You the Merriest alongside Idina Menzel. So many great people. I'm sure there will be others announced soon. We'll get, is there a full track list?
Yeah,
There is a full
is. We have
track
a story,
list.
actually.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry,
She's going to
Andy.
be singing like a Christmas variation on Seasons of Love, too. So pay attention,
look
y'all.
at that. Yes.
Yes.
You can pre-order the album now, but it will be released on October 18th. So you have a little time to pre-order and then receive. Do people still get hard CDs? Do you like?
Maybe people have cars.
Oh, true. Yes.
know.
Otherwise, I'm sure it'll be available for streaming on Spotify and all that good business. Thank you, Idina Menzel.
And one of my Broadway queen icons is getting an honor she so very much deserves.
Yeah, so we found out that Charlotte St. Martin, who is the president of the Broadway League, has been honored by
Love her.
Cranes, the Cranes Hall of Fame for her contributions. Charlotte St. Martin joined the Broadway League in 2006, and she has done tons of things to improve the Broadway community.
Yeah.
She's actually the only woman on this list of 6 people,
Come on.
so hats off to her.
Here.
We totally appreciate her contributions, and congratulations.
And we have photo and video proof of Alice Ripley as Norma Desmond,
Oh my
everybody.
God.
It's
Yeah.
real.
So
it's
I
happening.
It's incredible.
We have been talking
You've just been
about
watching it all
I was gonna
day,
say, we've been
basically.
talking about
Yeah,
Alice Ripley
like-
in this Sunset Boulevard in these
I can't.
seats for
I'm
a
so
very
upset
long
because
time.
it's only a 2-week run and there's
I
like
know.
1 week left.
Are you gonna
Why
go?
are we here? I'm not. I don't want to talk
Why
about
are
it.
we here?
I'm upset.
So
Cancel the week.
performances are underway. I don't know what else. So yes, this is a new staging of Sunset Boulevard. It is at the North Shore Music Theater. which is in Beverly, Massachusetts, I believe. It is
course.
only playing through October 6th. Andy is going to miss it,
I wanna talk about
unfortunately,
it.
as you. Of course, I mean, what can I tell you? Everything you know. Alice Ripley played
originated the role of Betty Schaefer on
Yes.
Broadway.
Yeah.
I mean,
And now
this is, okay, truth be told, I know this is like your story,
It's
but
yours now.
Sunset Boulevard is my favorite musical of all time.
yeah, of course.
My bar mitzvah gift was going to London to see Patti LuPone in Sunset Boulevard in 1994, and I fell in love with the show and Patti, but I mean,
Yeah.
Alice is everything.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. Well,
super excited.
there are
I'm
some
not gonna
other
see it.
wonderful people in this, including Nicholas Rodriguez, William Michaels, and Lizzie Klemperer. You can watch a video on the site right now of
Yes.
footage of this, and then ache away the fact that you probably won't
Yeah.
get to see it, just like Andy
But
is.
maybe it'll come
Maybe
here.
it'll come here. Yeah, absolutely.
And we got a fun little feature on one of the stars of Betrayal.
Yeah, so Zawe Ashton, who is making her Broadway debut in Betrayal, is featured on our site right now in a Fresh Face feature.
Caitlin talked to her.
Caitlin Moynihan spoke with
Oh,
her.
She was amazing.
So she
Love
is
her.
a super talent who it's a 3-person play, as you all know.
Yeah.
She's appearing alongside Tom Hiddleston and Charlie Cox, who are both making their Broadway debuts as well as her.
So exciting.
Beautiful photos by Caitlin McNaney.
Yeah.
So definitely check this out on
She
the
looks
site.
stunning.
She
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
Gorge.
stunning.
Yeah, she's amazing. A few
Beautiful.
other things that you can check out on the site right now include we have a first look at the Broadway production of The Lightning Thief, which is opening up at the Longacre
Yes.
Theater. So you can see photos from that production. Also, we have a first look at Scotland, PA, which is the off-Broadway musical. Kate, you went to the press event for that too.
And
right?
I saw the show last night.
You saw the show
actually.
last
Yeah,
night.
it's
I saw it last week.
really
It's so
incredible.
fun.
The
So
So you can
cast
see
is
photos of that.
ridiculous.
It
Yeah.
was a stacked
Oh
cast.
my God.
Also, we got some footage of the Kennedy Center Footloose cast in the rehearsal. We have video of that you can watch on the site right now as well. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But stay where you are. Don't check out all that stuff yet. Andy, thank you
Yes.
so much for
You
doing
bet
it.
it.
Have a wonderful Rosh Hashanah.
Thanks,
Aw,
man.
You're very
bye.
welcome. Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you.
Caitlin, would you be so kind as to tell us a little bit about today's guests?
Gladly. Yes, we have Alex Wyse and Wesley Taylor here with us in the studio today to talk about the upcoming season 3 premiere of their acclaimed web series Indoor Boys. Season 3, it's here, it's happening, and it's full of some of your all-time favorite Broadway stars who are also their best friends, and it's amazing. You guys, Alex was most recently seen in Waitress. He also helped out with producing What the Constitution Means to Me. We're going to talk about that. He was also in Spring Awakening. My heart always had to. Alyssa Strata Jones. Wes was just in SpongeBob SquarePants. Rest in peace forever. Thank you very much. The Addams Family. Rock of Ages. He's going to be in Assassins. We have a lot to talk about. Make sure you follow Alex at AlexJWise on Instagram and Wesley at Sir Wes Tay. Please leave. I can't say that without laughing. It's amazing. Please leave all of your questions in the comments below, and please welcome Wesley, Alex, and Ryan.
Hello, gentlemen. It's so wonderful to see you.
Yay.
It's so wonderful to have you here. First of all, I believe, Wesley, you owe our Live at 5 viewers a little bit of an apology for your last appearance in April of 2018. Something happened here.
Yeah, the last time I was here was a mistake, by the way. I wasn't
No,
invited
what
properly.
the mistake was,
Yeah,
we were
let's-
like, we like called you, were like, could you run here, please? And you're
Yeah.
like, I'm busy.
I was like-
This is just Wes's apology tour.
Yeah.
This is, we're not even talking about Indoor Boys.
We should start by me saying, just giving you a formal apology. I was on the street eating a roast kitchen salad bowl that happened to have a lot of steak in it.
It did,
And
yeah.
they said, it's okay, just eat your dinner at Live at 5.
I
But
wasn't working
could-
here yet.
But I
just to
could
be
have
clear.
eaten like the whole salad other than the meat. But I chose, like, you asked me a question and I put like a
Mid
big piece
chew.
of steak
Yeah.
in my mouth
yeah.
and chomped on it and made you just like ad lib for like 10 minutes.
It was, I was earning my paycheck.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
I was challenging
yeah.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
No,
welcome.
it's so wonderful to have you back. And Alex, it's so wonderful to have you here.
you.
I am such a, like many of those watching, I'm such a giant fan of Indoor Boys. I just
Yes.
rewatched both seasons. I love it so much. I love it for a lot of the reasons that you both have talked about why you created it. That there was there was kind of a hole there. Like there wasn't that type of thing for young gay men and the relationships that we tend to have with groups of friends and all of that. The third season premieres on Tuesday, October 1st. Tell us a little bit about what it was like to make this season. Just start. What's the sort of arc of this season? What was it like making it all together again? Take it away.
Okay. Well, we after the second season, these characters absolutely had more to say, and there's a lot more for more places for them to develop.
Yeah.
So we You can jump in at any time.
Okay.
I'm so nervous. Don't be nervous. It's my first time. I don't have a salad or anything.
The salad was good to hide behind. No, look, this season, Nate and Luke tried their luck at being boyfriends.
Right,
And
yes.
so this is the
I
season.
wrote this thing. I don't know what it's about.
This is the boyfriend season. I mean, they're really trying their luck at making a relationship work, and they move in together into an apartment, paid for mostly and designed by Nate's mom,
parents.
Ellen.
Carolee Carmelo.
Yes, played by Carolee. But yeah, we explore like actually trying the relationship and also living together, coexisting. Because the first season Luke was crashing with Nate, and they were sort of living together in that scenario. But this is like both names are on the lease, like they're doing it.
Wow.
And our cast has expanded like exponentially.
Yeah.
So the second season we explored their relationships with their families and those dynamics, and we've just delved deeper and like really fleshed that out. And our guest stars are like times 3. And
Yeah,
they're
I
all,
was gonna
like,
say.
It's a cast of 40 people this time.
40 people. Who would
Yeah.
have ever thought? That's incredible.
It was maddening and amazing and just amazing
Right.
to have all of these people who inspire us and who are our friends and we love, and we just got to all be in a room together
It's
making
an
something.
embarrassment of riches. I mean,
It's
it's just,
unbelievable.
every cameo is a Broadway star or a TV star, so it's we feel very lucky.
Yeah, without giving anything away that you don't want to, who are some of the other characters that we'll meet in the third season that are played by these friends?
Well, we get a roommate. So
Oh,
that's a big
fantastic.
thing.
There's a new indoor
Okay.
boy.
A new indoor boy, groundbreaking.
And
Okay.
he is played by the wonderful Sean Grandillo, whom you might know from he was in Spring Awakening with me, and
MTV Scream.
Youth and Consequences on
The Real O'Neills.
The Real
I think he did
O'Neills.
for a little bit.
Speaking of Real O'Neills. Oh yeah. And speaking of Real O'Neills, also Noah Galvin is in this season.
Fantastic, yes.
And Harada is in this season.
And Harada is like our new landlord of the new building.
I think there's a Colton Ryan.
There's a Colton Ryan.
Yeah, there's a Colton Ryan.
A lot of Alice by Heart.
Of course, naturally.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
What else?
Daniel K. Isaac plays a significant role this season.
Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel from
great.
Billions
Yes,
and the other two.
absolutely.
And,
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
and one of my favorite guest stars, Laura Silverman, is in this season.
yeah, it's actually a comeback reunion because Nathan Lee Graham is in it too. So Nathan Lee
Oh,
Graham and Laura
look at
Silverman.
that. Yes.
Jane from The Comeback.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Jane. So we have Jane.
That's
pretty awesome.
fantastic. That's amazing.
Yeah.
When you guys sit down, because you, if you're not familiar, you guys created, you write, you direct, you star, this is your baby.
Yeah.
When you sat down to sort of break out the third season, what were some of the things that you wanted to do with this third season? Were there issues you wanted to touch? Were there a relationship? What was important to you to get into this third season?
Relationships.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
no, I forgive you. It was there were
Your apologies were going
It's so
splendidly.
great. I don't forgive him. I watched that episode. It was insane. I texted him, "What are you doing?
He did.
What are you doing?
He did.
This is humiliating for you and for me. I am affected by." I'm sorry, I'm yelling. Am I sweating? I think we really wanted to delve into relationships in this
Yeah.
season. I think what my favorite thing about this season is it's really funny, but stuff goes down. I think even more so than the other seasons. I think characters really are forced to change. It's not just like in our past seasons, I think it was a series of like frustrating choices that characters were making. And now characters have to like go through some things
Yeah.
and actually hopefully come out the other side, and we'll see how that unfolds, but I think
Totally.
some real stuff happens.
I agree. I think that our main characters really do evolve and change, and that's like an exciting thing about this season that you maybe not have seen in the previous seasons. Also, we were so in love with the performances of Vianne Cox and Carolee Carmelo as our
course,
mothers that
yeah.
we really wanted to expand their responsibility on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I
all
love
about
that little
all of it.
flashback we get in He's a Bully, where you just see them younger when you two are children, and you always, like, they've known each other. You're like, what is the relationship there? That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, those two women playing our mothers is an absolute dream come true. They're two of our favorite actors in the world.
Right, yeah,
And they always
totally.
have been. And now it's really exciting seeing also how they have taken ownership of
Ownership
their
of their
roles.
part.
And during filming, they would say, you know what, I feel like instead of this, you know,
Yeah.
because Ellen does this, you know, and we're like, yes, of course she does.
Right.
You know, and
And we know as actors, like once you've been living with a character for a while, you sort of know the character better than the person who created it. Like you have been living and inhabiting in it for a while.
and that's the greatest joy
It
in the
is
world
it's
for
a
us.
great feeling,
that
yeah.
all of these people have, you know, in this thing that started as, hey, let's make a sketch. Like that's how this started. Is,
Right, yeah.
Let's make a sketch because like we don't have anything to do this month.
Right.
Yeah.
So and it's turned into you know, the Vianne Cox and Carolee Carmelo show.
I mean, the award-winning Vianne Cox and Carolee Carmelo show. I mean, this has been it's very respected. It wins awards. When you're writing these episodes, and is there do you take moments of your life and your relationships, are those kinds of things influencing sort of what happens, or do you talk to friends and family? Like where do your ideas for the situations these characters are going to find themselves in come from?
Sure. I always find that I feel like the most effective version of comedy, in my taste, is to find things that bug me about me.
Yeah.
And then to embellish those things.
Sure, right,
And to
yeah.
sort of build off, exaggerate something that I am struggling with or something that I find ridiculous about myself, and then just make it into sort of a monstrosity, and then it's funny.
Right.
Because I think humiliation is the best form of comedy.
Yeah,
Great,
I think we humiliate ourselves quite a bit in this show, and I think
Yeah.
especially in this season,
Yeah.
it's just one insult after
Yeah.
the next at me, and I think I wrote every single insult about myself.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Well, yours are the best because you sort of write your own insults.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
How does the division of labor work? Do you kind of plot that out ahead of time, or do you say, I think you should helm this one, or how does that sort of
So
work?
we have different strengths and weaknesses, but I do feel like the coupling, our creative marriage really highlights each other's strengths. So like I have a knack for structure and like situational comedy, and then Alex is a great joke writer, and like you put them together and
Yeah.
we sort of like can sing song each other's ideas. It just sort of works. So a lot of times I'll start off and then he'll do the second pass and then I'll do
Okay.
the, you know, we just take turns on the
Yeah.
drafts.
Right.
A lot of times we've said like Wes starts and I finish, you know, and like what do you mean sexually? No, no. So
Last we saw, Luke was very willing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
to
so
be
true.
To be the bottom. You
Yeah.
know, to just.
he said, you know, I've been done this since.
Take one for the team.
I don't want to speak disparagingly about anyone. But yeah, I think what's nice though, I think Wes said it really well, that we both have different responsibilities and the same responsibilities in this, and we really step up for each other.
And then
Right.
also in production and in post-production, we have different strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, that's
Just today, we were hours and hours behind a computer screen color grading, which is not my strength, but it
Okay.
is more of his sort of
Sure,
strength.
yeah.
Him and our cinematographer Paris Remillard.
I got those big eyes.
We're just like a real sense of the aesthetic in terms of like what needs to happen color-wise, and I'm just like colorblind in that situation.
Right.
So we do have, we trade off and help each other out in production and post and pre.
Totally. And I don't want to. So very excited to see the third season. Is it going to be a week to week? Is it all dropping at once?
All at once.
Fantastic.
So the previous seasons we would do week to week,
Right.
And this season we are dropping all in one fell swoop, so people can binge. And
Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And re-binge, like
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
did. Is there a plan? I don't want to jump ahead because but is there? Do you foresee where this goes? Do you have a set of seasons in mind? Do you have tell it as long as these characters have more to say?
We have a few different thoughts about that. One of the thoughts is that I like that we feel like our story kind of arcs this season in a way that I don't think that people will feel, I hope, I mean, I'm going to end up eating my words, but I don't think people are going to leave the third season feeling frustrated. But, there could be more to this story,
Great,
and we'll find
great.
out later. But at the very least, these 3 seasons tell a story that feels like there's a start, a middle, and an end.
Amazing,
So
amazing.
I like that.
we
but-
have like several other projects that we're sort of trying to develop. Right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
And without saying too much about those because they're still just pipe dreams, but
The title is
yeah.
The
But we're-
debut
you know,
date.
we've been at the very early stages of developing a film that we'd like to make together, and we have definitely some other ideas for series. And so whether or not Indoor Boys continues on, or if this is the final season, we don't know yet.
Sure.
But
But we know that this is going to keep going.
Yeah, but we'll continue to write stories together.
That's
and-
fantastic.
yeah.
Talking about a little other projects, and then we'll go to some of the people that are, I'm sure, sending lots of questions. Assassins next
Yeah,
year
yeah.
at Classic Stage Company.
Yeah.
You're the man who tried to kill FDR.
That's correct.
What are your thoughts? How excited are you? You know, how did this project come into your life?
I did a workshop of a new musical last summer or a few months ago, directed by John Doyle, and I really loved working with him. And he is a special director.
He is, yeah.
And that is how this came about. We met on working on that project, and then he offered me this. So it was just a very happy surprise to get the offer. And then to find out who else I was playing with was just
crazy.
a dream. And those are the only 5 people they've announced, you know? Like,
Right,
I can't wait to
yeah.
find out who's the balladeer and who's, you know,
But yeah.
Hinckley and all that. So I'm really excited.
Yeah,
And,
it's not every day that we get a piece of news in the office here and that there's a collective roar that sort of
Yeah,
happens,
very
and that
true.
was
That's
certainly one
yeah,
of those.
I agree. I was very excited to see those names. I had heard a couple. I knew Pasquale and Swenson was doing it, but I didn't know about Uranowitz and
Judy.
and I've never met Judy. I never met Judy, and I'm a huge fan. So I
Fantastic.
was very excited.
Also, Alex, first of all, I absolutely loved you as Ogie in Waitress. I thought it was so absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
But
Appreciate
also, of course, what the Constitution means to me was quite possibly one of the most amazing things I've seen on Broadway in as long as I can remember.
Retweet.
Like we've talked about it a lot around here. You helped produce that, and it is going to LA. It's going to Chicago next year. Tell us a little bit about what was it like to be a part of bringing this and getting those Tony nominations and giving Heidi Schreck the most amazing platform. Thank goodness.
Well, I mean, I guess what I would say about it is I've never worked on a producing team before, but I was just really honored, and I had a lot to learn, and I was very excited to learn about this other side of the business. I felt like a lot of it, or some of it, I should say, I already kind of innately knew from being like kind of forced to produce my own work,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So it didn't feel like such a huge leap to me. It feels like I've always kind of had a producing hat on a little bit, so there's that. But I would just say that that show is all about how brilliant Heidi is and what she created with the creative team on that show. And I'm very hesitant to say it, like to take any congratulations for it. I just feel extremely honored that I got to be a part of something like that, and that I got to help facilitate that for her, because I think that she's an absolute genius.
She is, yeah.
And I'm just very kind of moved and humbled. I even got to be in the room talking about what's the marketing strategy, what can we do, how can we, you know, that I got to be a part of those conversations was just kind of unbelievable. And and like the message of that show is not lost on me. And and you say the title and I get emotional. So, that's where I am.
I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
I agree, yes.
Caitlin, what would some of our
Yes.
viewers like to know from Alex and Wesley?
Yeah, sure thing. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I'm gonna try really hard to say your name right. Zip.
Zip?
I'm gonna
Okay.
go with that.
Yeah.
So Zip wants to know, you guys have had a lot of awesome guests. Do you have a dream guest for maybe any, like, is there anybody that your like next project must grab them?
Must cast blank.
I was just thinking of, you know, I just did a reading with Michaela Diamond, and we were editing at the time, and I would, hi, Michaela, if you're watching, I'm about to sing your praises, but I would come after the reading every day. It was actually a 2-week reading, and I would come to our editing sessions, and I would be like, this girl, like, I
Amazing.
am confused, I am... She's just,
Do I
she's
love
a
her?
star.
She is.
You know, I use that word pretty carelessly, but I really do think that a star is someone that like you could watch do anything mundane, and it's special and rare.
Yeah.
And it's like I could just stare at those big ocean eyeballs and just like, so I wanna. By the way, I want to write something for you. Okay. And
Send
do
it her
something.
way.
Alex,
The first person that comes to mind is Gus Halper.
Oh, he's great. Went to my school.
Yes, he
what
did.
a- yeah.
I love him so much. and we've tried to. I think in the future I'm gonna force Gus to be in something that I write. I just think he's such an interesting actor, and we were in Ride the Cyclone together off Broadway, and he has some exciting projects coming up, which you'll see. I can't remember if it's been announced, but I'm not gonna say it. But he has something very exciting this season in the theater scene.
Oh,
so
great,
anyway, look out
yeah.
for Gus Halper, who's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. Has there ever been
Yes.
anything that you've written for a guest star or had an idea and then had to scrap or had to change? Like, is it where you're
Absolutely.
like this?
I'm a little reticent to talk about specific things though, because a lot of times,
Sure, no, of course.
you write something with someone in mind, and then schedule-wise they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You find someone else to do it. You're unsure if they will, fulfill the expectations, and then they reinvent the role, and you're so gobsmacked and pleased with what they've done, but it wasn't what you intended.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even want to talk about it specifically because I don't want them to know they weren't our first choice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah,
Totally. Fair.
absolutely.
But
Fair.
it's like everyone surprises you. I mean, the people that we end up with are the people who inevitably you're like, oh, this is who we were supposed to use.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Great.
Probably
Okay,
not as satisfying.
we have time for one more question. This is actually
we talked
an
too long.
often question. There's a lot of people who actually want to know this.
What?
So Stacey, as well as a bunch of people, want to know, with so many of your friends being a part of your show, what was it like trying to film? Did you guys break a lot? What was that environment like actually
we do
filming
get
with
those
like your
outtakes, which
besties?
are always
Well,
great.
we
Yeah.
do have outtakes, but I will say I think it was kind of hard finding some outtakes this season because everybody was so focused and like we really had
We
our-
shot a feature-length film in 8 days.
Yeah, I mean, so Indoor Boys, the whole third season is going to be, it's like 80 minutes long. It's a movie.
Wow, yeah.
It's a movie that we
that's-
shot in 8 days, and
Right.
so we were extremely focused and fierce and like just myopic almost in terms
Right.
of like
Yeah.
not a lot of fun. In terms of behind the scenes, although we still made a 5-minute outtakes.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of laughs, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like for instance, there's one episode with like just literally every cameo is a star that you will recognize, and that episode we shot over 6 hours, 6 hours straight. And
Wow.
we didn't get. There was no breaks. There was no,
No breaks.
like no one
When you
stopped
work
and
with
eat.
friends.
That's right.
Wow.
And
No
but the
breaks.
thing is, they were so good to us,
Yeah.
and they were so
Yeah.
focused and behaved and like
Right.
Yeah.
quiet. And
So yes, there's going to be a really fun outtakes reel, but at the same time, I think we also brought in people who not only they're our friends, but we really respect them. We brought them in because they're great workers, because
Yeah.
they're great actors, and so everybody was really bringing their A game and honoring that.
Right. And a lot of them have said they were all fans. Like that when you called and asked if they wanted to do it, that they were already fans of it. And so that's incredible. It's amazing.
it's exciting.
Well, we're
Is it-
thankful that anybody watches this at all.
Well,
Can I just
yeah.
say? I mean, it's so it's
Of course.
it's really
of course.
awesome.
Well, thank you both so much for coming in here. Make sure the third season of Indoor Boys happens October 1st, Tuesday. It's on Vimeo. You can watch it.
Indoorboys.tv.
Indoorboys.tv. Make
That's the
sure.
place.
Thank you guys so much for coming by.
Thank
Good
you for
luck with
having us.
everything, of
Thank
course. Caitlin, would you please take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts by searching for #live@5 and hitting that subscribe button. Have a great weekend and be sure to tune in on Monday. We talk to Darren Chris all about Elsie Fest.